Hello, welcome to this video. Today I wanted to announce that PT 10th Anniversary Edition inDreams has surpassed 10,000 thumbs up. This stream has been played by 26,000 people, 40,000 times for a total of a year, judging on the playtime. That's how long this game has been played for. Now, this number is something that hasn't really been seen since the release of Dreams and also the release of Dreams when it went onto PS Plus. So the fact that we've reached 10,000 thumbs up without any kind of influx is absolutely astonishing. Every day, Dr. Jones and myself were always receiving a notification on people giving a thumbs up or leaving a comment. So just wanted to say thank you. Most of the thumbs up as well, if you look at the social aspect of it, they're mostly just new people that just joined. So that's great news because this tells us that people are buying Dreams just to play PT. But not only do you get to play PT when you buy Dreams, you get to dream surf a bazillion other dreams as well and play through a bazillion other creations that a lot of people have made around the world. And you can also use the tools yourself to make your own kind of game and also share it to the growing Dreamiverse. So yeah, there's that. So I'm just really happy that people are buying Dreams and checking Dreams out and using Dreams. So that means the world to me. So as a thank you, I've put together this video of me playing PT in virtual reality. Hello, welcome to this video. Today I am going to be playing through PT in VR, and you can get motion sick along the way. Okay, I don't know if reverse matters in VR. I recommend playing this without subtitles because it just makes it more immersive. Yeah, so let's go. Whoa. Motion sick. So when we were developing this game, we developed it for the TV. So most of our judgment and direction for the look and the style of this and the lighting is made for the TV. The first time when I put on the headset, I was just blown away how easy it was to convert something that you've made for the TV into virtual reality. And for the most part, we got most of the scaling for things correct. Some of the tweaks that I did when converting this to virtual reality were some camera adjustments and some camera scaling so that it feels like you're in the room, and also some assets that were floating around that you don't really notice on a flat 2D plane when you're playing it on the TV, but when you're in virtual reality, those things stick out like a sore thumb. These cigarettes, they would be floating off the actual bench here. So I kind of went in, added some physics to it so it drops onto the bench and then baked in the placement of the cigarettes, and that's like a fast way to fix that problem. Like, you don't need to manually place every single cigarette. That would be a bit overkill, so I just added physics to it, let it drop, and then baked it. The only thing I wish I could change a bit more are these roaches and the scaling of these roaches, because in virtual reality they look ginormous, but they were very hard to scale down because of the animations that were already applied to them. That's something that I wish I could fix, but it's a lot more complicated. So with the main game, there are things that work on the TV and things that don't really translate well into VR. So what I had to do, and also what Jones had to do, was find a balance between what works on TV and what works in VR. So the interactions have been tweaked for a virtual reality experience as well. So, these puzzle pieces are one of those things that didn't work in VR before. So when you put on the headset, it's using a completely different set of logic for it to work. These roaches are ginormous. Should have tweaked it. The only way to make them smaller is to group smaller roaches to whatever we have here. But we already hit the limit on thermometer, so that's not possible. And this is something that I love with our VR version, is that you can wave the dual shock controller around and use it like an actual torch. And since we're in VR as well, some events had to be adjusted using timers. So it's just like playing through a haunted house. Yeah, I love this torch. It just makes you feel like you're in the room. And this is something that isn't available with the original PT. The only other version where you can play in virtual reality is the Unreal Engine version, but then you have to do some modding to get it to work with virtual reality. And modding isn't like a... I mean, it should be easy, but it's not a walk in the park. Oh, Jesus. It's just a different experience when you play this in virtual reality, because you feel things that you don't feel from the TV. You feel the warmth of the light, you feel the darkness, you feel more claustrophobic. And yeah, we did a lot of work to try and get it to work both in virtual reality and also on the TV. You can finish the game start to finish without too many issues. So that fridge earlier, it used to be hand animated, but then at the last minute we've set it so that it was a physical fridge that's actually swinging around with physics. So it is attached to a link to make it swing around like that. And it does bump around the walls and stuff. Much better than if it was hand animated. This is probably my favorite section, especially in virtual reality. So there is a little Easter egg here, like if you look down there is a headless Lisa when you peek through the hole. And it's not in the original game, this is like cut, unseen content. But I thought it was appropriate to place it here. And this is only something you can see in virtual reality, not in the main game. So it's kind of like an Easter egg for those who have the VR headset. Yeah, this, you just feel so claustrophobic going through this. And here I'm gonna keep looking backwards and walk backwards so that you can see like the logic that we've put into this. Like here you can see the red hallway, but then when you turn around it'll go around the corner and then look back, the door just appears. It doesn't just pop in or anything like that. We were really careful with what the player is looking at. You don't want to walk backwards and then enter a trigger where it just pops into view. You have to look away and then look back and then the door appears. And I don't think that's in the original. That's something that we've added. In the original you could go back into the running hallway and then loop around and stuff. But we made it more psychological, I think. And here you feel the brightness of the room and you feel the difference when all the lights are on. Whereas on the TV you don't really see much of a difference, but when you're in the virtual reality you just feel the warmth of the lights and stuff. It's such a different experience. We're back at the beginning. Most people assume that it just resets and you're back at the beginning and that was the ending, but there's more to the game. So don't quit once the game glitches out and then you're back here, because there's more to it. You have to keep playing because there's a final boss battle here at the end. To solve the final puzzle, you gotta walk 10 steps until you get the first baby laugh. So I'll walk through it. And it works in virtual reality as well. And with the final puzzle, again, like when you're in virtual reality, is a different set of logic. So here you approach Lisa, and in virtual reality, Lisa, like on the TV, it's using a laser scope so it knows you're looking at her, but in virtual reality it's different because the player can look anywhere, and it's kind of distance based in virtual reality. And we've made the microphone a bit more sensitive to work with the VR headset, because the microphone on the PSVR 1 is pretty awful. So we made the microphone more sensitive in VR.
You've been chosen.
So yeah, there's a whole different set of logic for the VR version. Yeah, once you finish the game, you reach the final cutscene, and with this cutscene, it used to be a 3D 360-degree cutscene, but then you see a lot of flaws. So there's also an option to toggle the camera so that it looks like a 180 spatial video, which is a better way to view cutscenes. So we kind of went with that. So it's like you're in a cinema and you're watching like a 3D movie like Avatar or something like that. Except it's spatial, because when you move forward and back, you actually see the perspective of things. It's not just a 3D stereoscopic video, it's a spatial video where you can move around and the perspective changes based on what you're looking at. But it's framed so that you don't see all of the, how do I say it, the crap or the trickery behind it. So yeah, in virtual reality, the hairs were a problem when we converted it, because VR renders, it can't render all of the paintings, so you get like this weird flickering. And I didn't even know what it is until like late in the game. Like I finally figured out why there was so much flickering in the scene, and it's because there were too many paintings and Dreams couldn't handle the rendering in VR. So with the VR version, there's a switch that turns off a lot of the painting so that it doesn't flicker. So we had to go back and tweak Norman Reedus's like facial hair and his hair in general so that most of the scene can render without flickering. So yeah, that's the game in virtual reality, and the concept gallery as well you can view in virtual reality. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.